In 2023, I was trying to cut hair in a brand new state with no clientele, was living in a college dorm, stuck going day to day with no purpose and no direction. Fast forward to now, I've been able to make over 20K a month from cutting hair, get brands to pay me 5 figures just to promote their products, make 30K passively off simply posting content alone, and on top of that, been able to change a handful of barbers' lives while living a flexible lifestyle where I'm able to make money wherever I want, travel when I want, and ultimately have the flexibility to do anything I want. So in this video, I'll be showing you my raw story and the 3 phases I went through to hit 20K plus months from barbering. And if you haven't hit 20K a month from barbering, or gotten brand deals, or gotten paid from simply posting content, I'm gonna show you exactly what phase you're in and what you need to do in order to get to that 20K a month. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video. All right guys, so before I actually get into all the phases of everything, I just wanna give you guys a little bit of a backstory of kind of like how I was growing up overall and how I actually got into barbering. Right here, this first picture is actually my childhood home. I was born and raised in Juneau, Alaska, very small city in southern Alaska, closer to Seattle, Washington. Right, so if you look on the map, we're kind of like right there, southeast Alaska. And I was raised in this double wide trailer, right, in a trailer park overall. Honestly, just me, my 2 sisters, and then my mom in that house. My mom and my dad separated when I was very, very young. So I never really saw my dad around as much. Right? I have a stronger relationship with him now, but growing up ages 0 through literally like 17, didn't really have much of a relationship with my dad. My mom was also the only, financial provider overall. She was working 2 jobs, one full-time, one part-time. Right, she would go straight to her part-time job right after her full-time job in order to provide for me and my siblings. This is where I'm from, and honestly, I put this picture in here because if I'm being totally honest, growing up, I was super ashamed of where I was from overall. A lot of my classmates in school, they would actually make fun of my specific neighborhood because it was a trailer park and it was ghetto. Even though there was literally like no crime really happening here, people just thought it was ghetto because it was a very low income neighborhood overall. But for the longest time, I actually lied about where I lived because I was facing fear of judgment. Right, at a very young age, very insecure, right? And I've learned to this day to just embrace, what you have and to be obviously grateful overall. As you guys can see, I loved playing basketball as well, right? Grew up playing basketball. That's me when I was a kid. This is middle school AAU. And then this is me senior year of high school winning our regional tournament. It was also COVID during the time, so that's why I have a mask overall. And then that's my mom. She's a GOAT, literally, right? She's a GOAT. And then right here, this is actually my barber station. This is where I first started cutting hair. This is literally my room. If you guys can tell, there's actually a curtain right here that separates my bed from my barber setup, right? So like I wanted to cut hair, and by all means, I found a way to. So this was my station. I started cutting hair back in like May of 2020, I think. During this time too, I was like a senior in high school. I started getting into kind of like financial literacy, right? I started listening to this Money Monopolizers podcast. And you guys are gonna see a lot of these Snapchat screenshots because like a lot of my kind of like memories are from Snapchat. I mean, like typical high schooler would be on Snapchat, right? So this is me taking a picture of that. And then this is me actually reading my first ever financial literacy book. This book changed my mindset literally for life after I read this book. If you haven't read this book, you guys need to. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it literally changed my mindset. So if you guys haven't read that, I highly recommend you do. During this time, I also tried to get into like stocks and trading overall. As you guys can see, I made some money, but I ended up actually losing everything and just quit overall. I actually graduated high school, and that's when I decided, to move to Seattle, Washington to get my barber's license. Where a lot of my friends at the time were going off to college, whatever. I didn't know what to do at all, so I ended up just going to Seattle. I literally looked up barber schools near me. The nearest one from Alaska was in Seattle. So I literally relocated from Alaska to Seattle, Washington, just to get my barber license as well as attend community college. Because at the time, I really did not know what to do. I just knew I needed to do something because I wasn't gonna sit on my ass and be a bum. So I attended community college as well. I didn't really want to go to college to go to like a 4-year, neither could I even afford it. So this is the route I actually took. And then fast forward 10 months from 2021, I actually received my barber license, did a little photo shoot at the barbershop over there in Seattle. All right, so here you go, phase one. So after, I got my barber license in Seattle, I actually moved to Santa Barbara, California, right? And the reason for me moving from Seattle to Santa Barbara was number one, for college, right? I was chasing the college experience, guys. Like I just wanted to live like a college person. Right? I saw all my friends partying, meeting people and doing all that, and I got FOMO, right? So I moved all the way to Santa Barbara, attended college out here, and ended up being a degenerate, right? And that's what phase one is. I'm literally a recovering degenerate, right? I'm cutting hair and in college. This was 2023. As you guys can see right here, smoking a fat blunt in my college dorm. Over here doing a shotgun. This was like literally on the regular, literally every weekend I would do this. All right, this is my college dorm. This is my room with my homie Thomas, right? We shared this small ass room, slept on twin beds, taking me back. Anyways, I'm also just cutting hair at the shop. And then this is me kind of like at a party overall, like kind of just like lit. But here I was just being a literal degenerate. Like I did not give a fuck. I was kind of cutting hair. I was going to school, kind of passing, and I was just partying like crazy and smoking like crazy. And in this phase, right, this is why I call it the recovering degenerate. This was literally just like probably one of the stupidest points in my life. Right? I was literally a degenerate, but I believe, like most people go through this, especially like me overall. I didn't really do much of this the rest of my life. So I kind of just wanted to party and get it out of my system. And as you guys can see, even more flicks. Me smoking a joint, me at the club, me actually getting freaking fat. Look at this. Like I ended up putting so much weight, my face is literally a potato, right? It's like chubby as freak, right? And then here, right here, absolutely cooked, right? Just super, just chunky overall. I was never like that. I always played sports. I was pretty athletic. I was pretty lean. I ultimately call this filling a void, right? Like I moved to get the college experience and I ended up just falling in a bad cycle and filling the void, right, with bad vices, right? And this was my result. Ended up getting fat, ended up being honestly super depressed as well because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't progressing in life. After that first year of being in Seattle and making, money and then getting my barber license, I ultimately dropped down and became a degenerate and got fat. To me, I felt super, super depressed here. I don't know why I fell into this cycle when I knew I wouldn't like the results it would give me, but that's just what happened, right? And we live and we learn, guys. At this point, I literally knew I needed to lock in, right? This is me at the barbershop. And this is me actually just like making business cards overall. I made business cards because I was literally getting 0 clients. I was making around $2,000 a month in a barbershop, right? At this time when I moved to California, the same barbershop hired 2 more barbers. So there was 3 new barbers all fighting for that same small pool of clientele that went to the barbershop, right? And I was getting like none of that. At this point, I was like, bro, like there's no way I moved out here and I'm literally just getting fat, smoking weed, drinking hella alcohol, partying and wasting my life away. And then on top of that, not having like little to no motion from barbering. I was making no money even after a few months. I think it was like 3 to 4 months where I still wasn't breaking through that 2 to 3K month. At this point, I was just like, bro, this cannot be my life. I need to lock the fuck in. And this leads me to the phase 1 levels. This point, I really had like no time. I was juggling barbering and then school. I just had no time. On top of that, I was drinking, smoking. I had no brain power. On top of that, no skill because I was making no money from cutting hair. So my phase 1 goal was simply to just get back time and brain power. So I had to stop fucking around and had to lock in, right? And I had to think to myself, if I made my life boring, it would actually be easier for me to actually work. So that's exactly what I did, which was phase 2. Actually becoming valuable, right? This is where I took a risk. I started creating content online to promote my barbering business. And then here I also increased my income. So right here, I actually invested in my first ever mentor to show me how to create content and scale my barber business. I literally used the last bit of money that I had that I was supposed to use to pay for my next semester of classes. Guys, so I went into phase 2 thinking I'm going all in on this barber thing and I'm just dropping out. And that's exactly what I did. My mom was super pissed. She didn't want me to drop out of school, but I literally told her, I was like, I'm dropping out. I'm buying this mentorship and I'm going all in. And that's exactly what I did. The reason why I did that was literally because I was so fed up with my life and my situation. I was chunky, I was fat, I was smoking hella weed. Like I was just depressed. If you guys don't know, once you're in that cycle of just smoking, drinking, partying, getting fat, eating a lot, you get depressed, right? And that's literally where I was. I hit rock bottom. As you guys can see, my account right here, Pinoy Blends. It wasn't even spelled right at the time. I had to change it and put an I right here, but literally 146 followers. So once I actually took the risk and I invested in a mentor, I literally posted consistently. This was like for 50 days straight. But as you guys can see, I was not even hitting over like 3,000 views, right? Look at this, like 799, not like less than 1,000. All of these consistently, I'm posting every single day. So think about it, like I'm posting every day. I'm not even hitting over 10,000 views. It might get a little frustrating, which it did, but it finally paid off because on that like 50th post, I got a video that hit over 17.5K, which brings me to my phase 2 levels, right? So here at this time, I had a lot more time because I dropped out of school. I had a lot more brain power from investing in the mentorship, creating content, staying consistent with that overall, and learning a new skill of content creation. And then I was developing that skill of content creation, so that went up a little bit, and my money didn't really go up in phase 2, and that's why it's very low, because I was getting more time, I had more brain power, I was developing skill, but I didn't really reap any benefits at the time. So my goal in phase 2 was literally just to use my new time and brain power to learn a high value skill, which was creating content for my barber business. And I thought to myself, okay, I dropped out of school, I went all in on this barbering thing, I have to get results. Like no excuses, no whining whatsoever. And that's why I posted every single day straight. I literally took a risk. I dumped almost $7,000 into a mentorship. So I thought to myself, okay, I have to go all in or else I'm wasting $7,000. That's a huge thing about mentorship. It's like once you dump all that money into info and getting that information and knowledge, you literally have a lot of pressure on your back because it's like, I do not want to waste my investment. That was the mindset of me going into this thing overall. Then leads me to phase 3, right? This was where all the work that I was actually putting in was starting to pay off. My growth was exponential. And the single most factor that helped me was that I stayed consistent. I posted every single day. Literally didn't miss a day of posting until after 2 years. For 2 years consistently, I posted. I didn't miss a single day no matter what. And as you can see, the growth was exponential because I stayed consistent, right? I found something that finally started to work for me. Hair consultations, where I was getting millions of views. You know, before the million view, it was like kind of like tens of thousands of views. And then I started doing voiceovers as well. As you guys can see, like almost 1 million right here with a hairline fix, million right here with a hairline fix, Edgar lineup, 2.5 mil. I was doing voiceovers, and then here I was doing satisfying action clips. So I literally found 3 different content vehicles that worked for me, and I started to just replicate them, and I stayed consistent. And here's a little bit of like Snapchat. I told you guys you would see Snapchat, right? So I had a new client drive from Hollywood to get right, 2 fucking hour drive to me, right? I was like, oh my gosh, he literally drove 2 hours. Like, that's crazy work. And then right here, a stranger pulled up on me in the gym and asked if I was Pinoy Blends. I was cool because I was like, damn, I got recognized. This consistently led me to my first price raise. I went up by 10 bucks, $45 a cut. I was starting to get a lot of momentum, get some followers, hit 50K. Also started posting on TikTok because I wasn't posting on TikTok, but then I figured, you know, might as well start posting on TikTok. Like the same content I was posting here, post on TikTok. And then I like to call this phase 3.5, the double down, right? Compound effect overall. So I literally, like I said, doubled down and I did what was working and I just improved it. And I simply just stayed consistent and kept posting. And that led to more and more price raises, right? $65 a cut. 5 months after that, went up to $85 a cut. Was this 2 months after being at 85, went up to $100 a cut. Hit 100K on the gram. This is my TikTok right now, like 489, right? Almost 500K. And then on top of that, I almost made $30,000 passively just simply from posting content through the Creator Rewards program on TikTok. From staying consistent, I hit some of my biggest months from barbering. 18.5K, 22.3K, almost 25K. I actually round down when I tell people because I'm like, I'm gonna be a little humble. Well, no, I'm just kidding. But like, anyways, you guys see, it all compounded because I stayed consistent and I doubled down on what was working. I literally had a proven formula and I just let it rip every single time. And that's why I got these results. Thus leads me to phase 3 levels. So at this point, I used my skills, I built a personal brand, and I made more money while working less. At this point, I had all the time because I leveraged social media, I raised my prices, bought my time back, and so I was making more money and working less. On top of that, had a lot more brain power because I was locked the fuck in. I wasn't smoking, I wasn't drinking, I wasn't doing all that degenerate shit. I had a very good skill, strong skill of creating content marketing for my barber business. Comes with that is a lot more money, right? And I want to go a little bit more into the skill thing. With developing a skill, you're also going to develop high leverage habits. Through all of this, I ended up eating a lot more cleaner, right? I ended up going to the gym a lot more. I ended up giving up all these bad vices, right? Smoking, drinking, going out, you know, all that. And that's why I say skill will always lead to you doing very good things and you progressing in your habits overall, right? How you actually live life and how you show up every single day. To sum it all up, I created content to build demand and I built a brand online. And thus leaves me to phase 4, which is literally me right now. I have so much leverage and I'm literally living my dream life. Well, honestly, probably not my dream life, to be honest. There's still so much more I want to achieve. I have so many clients as well, barbers that I'm mentoring that I want to scale their business, and we already are scaling their business, but we're just getting started. And on top of that, I always believe in setting the bar higher and higher and higher every single year. This is not my dream life, but this is a very good and abundant one overall. So as you guys can see, literally making 1K day, like that's literally the norm for me. Right? I only work 3 days a week now, sometimes 2 to 3 days a week. Right? I'm easily booked out 1K days, 1K, 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 1.1K. Easy, right? And on top of that, you guys saw I was hitting 25K a month from barbering, but I actually had to scale down because I wanted to actually have more time to build the online coaching business where I'm helping other barbers, right? So I scaled down in order to give back. So now I'm only making around 14, 15K a month, sometimes 13K a month from cutting hair, which is still really good for me considering the fact that I'm only working around 2 to 3 days. As you guys can see, total clients cut 86, right? So if you do the math, 14,000 divided by 86, it's around like $160 a cut average ticket price, right? And on top of that, not really even pushing the marketing as much, but still getting a ton of new clients, right? It's literally on autopilot. It's 37 new high ticket paying clients, all paying over $100 a cut. New clients, just because I locked in and leveraged social media. On top of that, guys, I'm literally traveling. I went to my hometown for the first time in my life. I went to the Philippines. This is me on the boat, chilling, vanilling, you feel me? And then a whole beautiful, beautiful view of one of the resorts I was staying in. Let me see if I could like actually play this video. Boom, come on, come on, come on. Woo! Mwah! It's like literally so beautiful. This is like such a beautiful place, right? I love the Philippines. I'm going back next summer, guys. So, look forward to content in the Philippines. I'm gonna say that. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful place. This is me also four-wheeling out there in the Philippines in the rice, I think it's called like the rice canyons or something. The Banawe rice farms. And then on top of that, you know, I started getting into Muay Thai. So this is just me, you know, like at the gym. Look at that boy. Like, I look swole. I ain't gonna lie. I look swole. Swole's a goal. I don't want to gas myself up too much, but look, my boy looking big, man. But anyways, I'm loving what I'm doing in the gym, upgrading the physique. This is me and my lady, right? Taking her out to super nice dinners overall. Not just for her, but, you know, for me overall, right? Working this hard, why not enjoy it, right? So this is me taking her out. And then this is some dude I met at the gym. This dude was super cool. He just wanted to take a picture with me. Literally get recognized in public so freaking much, right? I don't really capture that. I'm actually now starting to vlog, so I'm sure I'm gonna capture a lot of those like raw moments where people are like, yo, are you LJ or are you Pinoy Blend? Like literally, I cannot go anywhere outside like Santa Barbara and not get recognized. Like if I step out of my crib, I'm going to get recognized, especially at In-N-Out on like a Friday, bro. People are just like, Pinoy Blends. I actually started, obviously, like I said, I started the Beyond Barbers Academy. And I started the Beyond Barbers Academy, which helps barbers scale past 20K a month. But more than that, it helps them become more than just a barber, right? Because I was that same kid, right? Where I was like, bro, like, I don't want to cut hair, you know, just for money. Like I want to be more than just a barber. And that's why I exactly, you know, opened this community up and I started coaching people, is because I want that for them. I know how to relate to you guys that are younger and you want more and you guys are hungry, because I was that same person. This is me in the Beyond Barbers Academy. These are some of my student wins, right? Obviously we got Gustavo absolutely killing it right now. He's about to go up to $70 a cut very, very soon. Started working with me, he was around 35. Now he's at 50, but you guys can see client coming from 2 hours away. They're driving 2 hours to him and still paying $80, right? Off the content. Clients respecting him more, $100 late cancellation fee, right? 4 new clients this month. This was 2 days in. So he had 4 new clients from TikTok, only 2 days in. As you guys can see, Jack, he went from 13 hours a day 3 months ago, and now he's only working 9 hours to make more money. So he's making more, working less. Gustavo, same kind of thing overall. $825 Saturday, blah, blah, blah. Gustavo with a 710. Sheesh, Gustavo's killing it, by the way, guys. You guys are going to see a fire case study of him soon, because he's absolutely killing it. At least a $100 cut. Like, this guy's just killing it, bro. On top of that, my boy Jan right here, he went from 50 to 60 to 65 to 75. So $15 price increase. Congrats to you, Jan. Gustavo, $170 cut. Bro, it's just getting paid, guys. It's just getting paid. Making the same, if not more right now at $50 with cutting less. He's working only 5 days and not 7. And then Gustavo already booked in advance after raising his prices. Jack, first day with a new price raise. We're already making moves. He's already booked. So then Jan with the client drove an hour and a half for a cut. Right, and then, this is Jack actually completing his first month, his new price point, and the screenshot actually shows him like being fully booked, making hella bread. But with that being said, everybody, I appreciate all you guys for obviously tuning in and watching this video. If you're actually interested in working with me one-on-one in order to scale your business as a barber, not even as a barber, beyond just a barber, if you want to be beyond just a barber, there's going to be a link in the description down below to actually book a call with me one-on-one in order to see if you're actually a good fit for me to coach overall. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. With that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.